Yo, what's up, YouTube? Right now we are looking at a video of DJ Academics basically trying to bash President Trump for saying that he would send in the feds to Chicago if the carnage doesn't end. Obviously, this is coonery at its fucking finest. Barack Obama had 8 years to clean up Chicago, and he's from Chicago, and he didn't do shit. This white man who you niggas claim you hate so much has taken the initiative to fix a problem to save black people, black youth, not from white cops, but from each other within 5 days of being in the office. Within 5 days of being sworn in, this man is about to pretty much complete all of his campaign promises, and he's also going to save black people from Chicago from themselves. Of course, niggas have a problem with this. Niggas are not free thinkers. Niggas don't think properly. That's why they're at the bottom of the totem pole, sociologically speaking. Niggas don't fucking know what's good for them, and they don't know fucking who to listen to. This nigga DJ Whackademics has 332,000 subscribers, and he's speaking to all of them, stating that it would be a civil rights violation for Donald Trump to institute martial law in a place that is pretty much out of control. The police can't hold it down, so yes, martial law is necessary. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this video, and I'm gonna let you know a little bit more what I think of this. I'm gonna make it brief though. I know you don't have a lot of time, and my videos aren't the most exciting. So here we go.
The rate alone in Chicago in 2015 is ridiculous. It was actually one that was not seen in decades, okay? So basically, given that, all right, if you're wondering how many murders happened in Chirac in 2016, 762. Fucking ridiculous, okay? It was 500, 500. One time it dropped to almost like the high 400s. That's like about 8 years ago. Then it was 500, 500. Then all of a sudden last year, shit shot up to 762. Now, there's a problem going on in Chicago, okay? Bottom line, the savages, they have no leash, no filter. They only got pistols. Everybody getting clapped.
You know why they have no leash, no filters? Because single mothers enable them to do this shit. Nobody's stopping them. How can you not stop a 5-year-old from acting up? You can. And if you continue to train him to be obedient and orderly, he'll grow up that way. But their mothers don't do that. And once they do become teenagers, fuck niggas like DJ Whackademics continue to encourage them to do crazy antics because in one way or another, it benefits them. Obviously, he has a channel called The War in Chirac, you know, that he makes dozens of thousands of dollars off. So the last thing he would want is for there to be no Chirac. But continue.
Okay. And here's the thing about it, because before people would say, oh, it's the music. Now, niggas like Chief Keef, they've moved out. People like Lil Durk, he still lives in Chicago, but he's not really the presence he once was, or he's not terrorizing, quote unquote, the block that he used to rock with. So basically, man, the people who they used to blame all this shit on, these niggas are out of here or they're dead. Now, these other people who are doing the crime, they ain't interested in no type of music. They ain't interested in no type of selling drugs or making money. They only interested in smoking packs. Now, let's actually talk about sending the feds in. Would that even do anything? In all honesty, when Donald Trump alludes to sending in the feds, basically he's talking about some form of martial law, basically putting curfews in and basically almost sending like the military there to say, hey, deal with these motherfuckers that are doing the killing. Now, here's the thing about Chicago. It's a weird dynamic. There's places in Chicago safe as a motherfucker. No crime. Shit. I mean, the only crimes there are literally like traffic crimes. Okay? No real serious crimes happen there. Okay? Now, you might be saying, what? No, this is... No. Chirac is only a small portion of Chicago. Right? So basically, all these killings aren't happening all throughout Chicago. It's only happening in the neighborhoods where it's mostly populated by black Americans. So again, and not only black Americans, it's poor black Americans. We could even remove the black, just poor Americans, okay? The poorest regions in Chicago, that's where Chirac is. That's where the crime is. Okay, if you look at the map, it's easy to tell. So how could you send the feds into Chicago without targeting certain areas? It basically brings up a civil rights concern, because you're gonna have to then put a federal mandate out to specifically target African American communities, not only to police them heavily, because that's been going on, but you're going to be sending armed forces and other federal resources to police and also militarize those minority communities. It will not play well. I can't see that happening.
DJ Academics, that makes no sense. Now, for a nigga who doesn't have a mind and will follow you blindly, a bitch who's weak-minded, that made perfect sense, because they're probably politically illiterate anyway. But let me tell you why this doesn't make any sense. Nigga, if you know where the carnage is concentrated, if you know where the murders are concentrated, what the fuck makes you think the government doesn't know? If they go in there, it's not a civil rights violation. It's not even a civil rights issue, because they're not going in there to look for black guys. They're not going in there to look for poor people. They're going in there because this is where all the murders are concentrated. Duh. So stop putting that propaganda out there because you want to save your little war in Chirac YouTube channel at the expense of the lives of our sons and our nephews and our youth. Stop putting that propaganda out there. This is bullshit. This doesn't make any sense. This is what this man's supposed to do. That's number one. Number two, I heard you went to college, so I give you the respect of being a pretty well-educated person, but obviously you didn't study political science or law, because there is one exception to everyone's civil rights. That is the safety of the community. In every state, the safety, and in the country, the safety of the community supersedes every individual's right. For instance, the First Amendment gives you the right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Unless you threaten somebody with it, you're free to say whatever you want, except I'm gonna kill that nigga. Then it becomes a crime, and it's legitimate. It's not your right. You don't have the right to do that. So yes, because that, that the concentration right there is threatening the lives of, as you said, the peace-loving, law-abiding citizens around, then yes, it's definitely warranted, and I don't use that term loosely, to initiate martial law against the savages. I don't know why you're trying to take sides with the savages like Trump is racist. He shouldn't send the feds in there. That's being racist. That violates civil law. You don't know what you're talking about on that issue. On other issues you may, but on that issue, you're completely wrong. No one's rights can encroach upon anyone else's safety. Okay, so it won't be a civil rights violation. Number one, in any state that you go to, you have the right to bear arms. But shit, if your firearm is used to threaten someone or used to harass someone, then you forfeited that right. You feel me? That goes with every right in the Constitution and goes for every state in the Union and also the country as well, the nation as well. You don't know what you're talking about. Stay the fuck off this subject. All right? So that's number two. Number one, I don't know what type of shit you're on to say the government can't do this because they're going to have to target African Americans. You're just trying to send the message to Chirac and your ignorant followers that they should protest Trump, or because he's going to lock up Chief Keef for Tay 600 or whatever, or this weirdo, what's this kid's name? Rico Reckless. You feel me? You want to give them the heads up to let them know, hey man, duck these guys. ¿Qué pasó, Rico? My homeboy right there. So you want to send them the message to duck the feds, even if it's going to cost 762 deaths in 1 year. You are so disappointing. All right, thanks, bud. Have a good day, bud. Thanks. Bud's the best. But at any rate, DJ Academics, I'm highly disappointed in you for this. You definitely are encouraging these dudes to coon and buffoon. And the president did the right thing. Barack Obama had 8 years to clean up Chicago, and he did no such thing. This man has been in office for less than a week, and he's already taking the initiative to do that. Number one. And I'm saying all these people are protesting against Trump, and they still cannot single out one thing that he did against them. They can't find anything, they can't specify anything bad about him. All they can say is he's a homophobe, a xenophobe, and a racist. Words they learned only when Trump started running for president. Half these niggas screaming that shit didn't even know what the fucking word xenophobe meant until Donald Trump started running. So, I mean, he has a lot more followers than I do, a whole lot more followers than I do. But do not, black people, do not, educated black people, fairly intelligent black people with common sense, do not listen to DJ Academics on this issue. We need to embrace the president. He needs to stop the culture of killing in Chicago, and he needs to stop the black single mother epidemic, because that's pretty much the genesis, the source of pretty much all crime. Thank you.